Welcome, everybody, to episode 8. I am Ben. This is Michael. We are the Cage Lions back at it with another banger. You know, we got a lot to talk about, but it's just grab bag. Nothing too focused on one sport or esport. We're picking little bits of stuff that we find interesting. We're gonna talk about it. But first, how are you doing today? How's your day going?
Bro, I've been up to a lot and a little at the same time. Few
Preaching.
tasks that take a lot of time. So, the end of the day is hit. It gets late fast, but we are on the content train now. All I can say is the next month and a half are going to be content heavy from your boy.
Yes, dude, I love it. Yeah, I kind of vibe with the late night. Well, not really late night. What time is
The
it?
Twilight,
It's,
I
it's
mean,
like
we call it the Twilight Edition.
yeah, twilight hour. Um, in the comments, you guys team Edward or team the other guy? I don't know.
Yeah,
What's his
you've
name?
just, I think, this just in, you've been fired
Yeah, I
for
never
making a
seen it.
Twilight
I just
reference.
know the
I've never seen it
references.
either.
But yeah, it's awesome. We're both done with school for the semester, but we'll get to that later. Yeah, I mean, it's been pretty much the same for me here. But, now that we're going to have a lot more time on our hands, hopefully we can figure out some cool stuff. It's a hard time to be a content creator, especially just starting out,
For sure.
because we don't want to do things that are stupid, because like COVID, we don't want to put anybody at risk, but we also want to like have cool content, set us apart from other people, give you guys a reason to watch. So we're working on it.
I
Big
think
trust.
I think going back to school is going to help that too.
Oh,
But
100%.
we'll get to all that in a little bit. So today we've got some MLB free agency stuff to cover. A lot of signings there. We'll go over some NBA stuff as well. A lot of Formula One content to go over. I'm a huge Formula One fan, and someday I'm going to convince your ass to get into it.
Yeah,
And then
let's do it.
we've just got a grab bag. A lot of cool things. We've got our sleeper game of the week. You know, our usual stuff, and then we'll go over some NFL stuff towards the end. So, to kick it off with MLB free agency, my boy Trevor May broke my heart and signed with the Mets. It sucks.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it doesn't suck that bad. Because Red Sox fans, Yankee fans, Red Sox fans, Mets fans hating the Yankees.
Hate the Yankees.
That's all it
I
is.
that that's something from a young age. I was uh the hatred of New York sports has been ingrained into me, but I always kind of liked the Mets. I
Me
never
too.
really knew why, but there's just like this small thing, this like small voice inside. I feel like most Red Sox fans that's like, the Mets are from New York, but like they hate the Yankees too. Like we got a mutual enemy here.
Yeah, dude.
And I've always liked their like underdog, like real New York style grit and grind. Like
Yeah,
it's never like, oh, the Mets, they're that loaded roster with all the superstars. No, the Mets are the underdogs, and I like rooting for the underdog.
for sure. And I think Steve Cohen, as the owner of the Mets, is going to absolutely blow it up. Not
Yeah.
in a bad way. I mean,
No, I mean,
he already has blown up. He's fired the entire front office.
and started off with a great signing. So
For sure.
excited for
I think they've signed a couple other people too. They got Marcus Stroman accepted his qualifying offer,
awesome,
so he'll be there for at least another year. So I don't know, it'll be cool.
interesting.
So
Good time.
a little bit about Trevor May. He is a streamer. He's a Twitch partner. Um, he
Twitch.tv
is
slash I am Trevor May.
true. He is the co-host of the May Contain Action podcast with Action Jackson, otherwise known as Paul, otherwise known as Tim the Tatman's friend, otherwise known as Ninja's friend's friend. And so they talk about baseball, gaming, life, stuff like that. Similar to what we do, honestly, and really good podcast. Um, but yeah, he tweaked something. He used to play for the Twins. He played there for the last 8 years, and now is coming to Mets. Um, he did not start off too hot this season, and then mid-season, I don't know what he did, but he just started throwing flames and
Yeah,
just killing people. So
yeah. I hadn't.
he had a strong showing towards the end of the season.
Yeah, I had heard about him through gaming. That was like the first
Me too.
stuff I heard about him, and he was like, "Oh, he's a professional ball player." But I hadn't heard a lot about him in the sports world until like the second half of this season, like you were talking about, when that switch flipped and he he started throwing some gas. So
Yeah, he
honestly,
really
happy
started
for
making
him.
noise.
Yeah,
So I definitely think the Red Sox missed out. I mean, our bullpen's okay, but we- an okay is relatively speaking for the Red Sox.
yeah.
But
we can. Yikes.
I mean, I definitely think we missed out. He's a guy who can give you 2 to 3 innings, not just one. So
Yeah,
I mean, I think we missed out, but it is what it is. So the Erod, Eduardo Rodriguez, and the Red Sox agreed to a 1 year arbitration deal, um, just so that they didn't have to go to court and stuff like that. I didn't realize he was in a contract year.
neither did I.
That's not good,
Yeah,
especially if he's good this year. That's not good.
exactly.
But I took a look at the free agent list, and Michael Brantley and George Springer are still available. Two really solid outfielders.
Yeah,
It
that's
doesn't look
interesting.
like JBJ is coming back basically before the end of the season last year. It was like, nah, fuck this, I'm out.
Yeah,
So,
understandably.
yeah, I mean, Sox hadn't done too much for him. He's one of the best defensive players in the league, but his bat is just way too streaky. Um, a big market such as Boston. So I love him. I love what he's done for the team. That ALCS we don't win without him in
Yeah. Oh
2018,
my gosh, that
but
was
he just
crazy.
caught fire. He just batted like 600. So
It was ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, like the Red Sox, I really wonder how much bringing Cora back is gonna do for like the morale and attitude of the players. Because honestly, like I feel like that is like a good faith showing. Like last year was kind of like bullshit. Like forget that. They're not like, okay, let's like keep like tanking or whatever. We'll get some good picks and start rebuilding that way. They're like, no, like we're bringing back in a winner who is gonna want his players to be winners, and we're gonna start there instead of start with losing and slowly building back up. So I think that's like a showing of good faith, and hopefully the players are like him enough and like each other enough and willing to stick it out
yeah,
and get back there because honestly, I think we can like in a year or two. I think we can be right back to where we were. We got the roster for the most
we
part.
have the offense, or we have the yeah, we have the offense. We have good bats. If JD learns how to hit a baseball again, we're fine. If Benny learns how to hit a baseball again, we're fine.
Yeah,
Give
it was
JD
rough.
his iPad back. Like, let him go over his swing mid
Yeah,
game instead of I don't know if it's 2020 thing or what, but holy shit, like, and it wasn't just the Red Sox that were complaining about it. It was everyone.
yeah,
Several hitters were like, "This sucks. You guys are idiots."
yeah. And I
But
mean, they're all around each other anyways, so I don't really understand why that would have been an issue. But people that know more than we do saw it as an issue, and I guess we're just gonna have to roll with agreeing with them for the time being. I don't know.
yeah, for sure. I mean, so do you think Marcelo Zuna would fit in Boston? He's the designated hitter for the Braves.
Um, like maybe I definitely think like we were talking about Bauer, and I see like you're about to talk about him. Definitely more possibility than that. Um, if he wants to win and is willing to come in and try, try to win and play for a team that has something to prove, we got a chip on our shoulder. But if he's just looking to make some money and relax, then I don't really want him. But I think that it'd be a cool path to explore. What about you?
I just I was listening to Section 10 the other day, and he doesn't fit in our roster right now. Because even if we had him play the outfield, he can't play the monster. Like
Yeah,
we need
true.
like an outfielder to play the monster.
Hmm.
And JD is our DH. He cannot play the outfield.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It as much as I would like to see it, like you, if he wants to try and like give it a shot and stuff like that, I'd absolutely kill to see it. But for now, I don't see it happening. It just
Yeah.
purely off of a it doesn't make sense standpoint.
That's
Not
fair.
not off of I don't want him standpoint. I'd love to see him on the team, but purely off of it doesn't make sense standpoint. We'd be wasting cap space that we
Yeah.
should be using on pitchers.
And I mean, I really like the players who we have, and I think yeah, pitching is where we need to start building.
Verdugo's gonna be
We need to spend some
electric.
money on there. Yeah, he is, and yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be an interesting season. I honestly do think that this is gonna be a big bounce back, and I think that yeah, it'll be a good comeback year. But like bringing back Cora is not gonna cut it. Like we
No,
got to do a little bit more, especially in the bullpen,
I think
and
Heim's working
I
on
think it's
that
gonna really
too.
happen. Yeah, I think
Um,
you're right.
I think he's gonna do a lot of work, especially in the field of like growing the farm. I think that's
Hmm.
what he was brought in here to do: get under luxury tax and grow the farm. And he's already grown the farm a good bit. So
Yeah,
I mean,
which is not underrated. I
I mean,
love
Heim
that pet.
Bloom took the third lowest payroll in the MLB to the freaking World Series.
Yeah.
And if Kevin Cash doesn't pull Blake Snell in Game 6, that's Game 7 and maybe the Rays series to lose.
Hmm.
But I mean,
Yeah, that might be that might be like one of the biggest
that's
what ifs
bad.
in recent baseball history.
That
Definitely is.
that
Ugh.
that would make me want to be traded from my team.
Yeah, I was like casually watching that game. I was hanging out
Me
with like
too.
two buddies that were like we were just talking and we had it on in the background. And I was like watching him. I was like, damn, this kid's killing it.
He's
And he
cruising.
and he makes like one. He has like one bad batter, like one bad pitch, and you see like he's like talking to him and like, oh no, like there's no way that they're gonna pull this guy right now. And they pulled him, and I was like, well,
Five
that
and
was
two
that.
thirds innings at 75 pitches.
Oh my gosh,
75 in an
I thought I
elimination
misread it
game.
wrong. I was like 70, like nine. Is that supposed to be a nine? Like, nope. It was ridiculous.
All time bad managing move. You can't fire Kevin Cash because he just took a low payroll to the World Series, but
Yeah, I
Jesus.
mean, he had been listening to the numbers the whole time, and
Big analytics
he'd
guy,
he'd been
right?
playing it like the analytics, and the analytics said he should do that. But at that point, like that's just a baseball move. In your gut, you know, like that's not the right move. And any baseball player, any casual baseball fan could tell you that. But
I
he'd gotten
definitely
that
agree.
far off the numbers. He'd gone that far off the numbers, so he was like, might as well ride it, and it did not
Ah,
pan out.
to say the least. So, on the topic of pitchers, Trevor Bauer, free agent, is one of the guys who only take 1 year deals for the entirety of his career, which I respect the hell out of because you're going to get the bag every single year.
Yeah,
But I don't say I want him or I don't want him, but I don't think I do. Just
yeah,
because he's a very outspoken guy.
hmm,
He's a very extroverted guy, especially in the game of baseball, who, wants to grow his brand and wants to go beyond the field.
yeah,
And I think a manager like Alex Cora in the front office like the Red Sox is just, we're here to win, we're here to play baseball, we're one of the oldest and most serious baseball organizations of all time. Like that's always been our philosophy. We've never been a flashy team.
yeah.
Our philosophy's been freaking win.
I think that's comparable to when we brought Kyrie in to the Celtics, and again, great player. Uh, he has that passion for the game, but he also has that off. He's very outspoken. He's a very individualistic person. He's who he is, and he's gonna be that like big personality that sometimes doesn't get along, especially in an organization where it's like put your head down and like let's win,
For
which
sure.
is what New England sports is. Like shut up and go do your job and go win.
Shut up, go win. Right.
Yeah,
I mean,
Bill Belichick.
no team has ever been flashy in Boston. We've never been a flashy team as long as
And
I can
when
remember.
we try to, that's when shit goes south. That's when
It
shit hits the fan.
fails.
Yeah.
But I mean, every flashy player we've ever brought into the Patriots, Antonio Brown, Cam Newton, has shut up and played.
Yeah.
People forget Antonio Brown didn't get released because he was flashy. He got released because he got accused of bad things.
Yeah. Which is still like a huge what if. I know that's not who Bill Belichick is, and that's not what our organization is. Like if there's controversy, we just like nip it in the bud. But like if we had just waited and like, oh my gosh, who knows? Who knows?
Nah, he would have gone to play with Tom.
Yeah, true. either way. But
Uh,
he's not really doing a whole lot right now.
right.
But it's just a struggling offense. Too many weapons.
Yeah, Bucks haven't been that good lately. So I think, staying on the topic of pitchers, I kind of want to see Jake Arrieta, the Cubs pitcher. I
Yeah, he
mean,
knows what he's doing.
he's been in the league for a long time. I think he's coming out of the Phillies this year. He's a very good pitcher for as long as I
Yeah,
can remember. He's older, as most of the free agent starting pitchers are, but we just need relievers. I
yeah.
think
I
that's where
mean,
our big dip is.
and that's where you're gonna get out of the older guys, the guys who are gonna come and be able to pitch 1, 2 innings and like close the game out. And
Right.
that's exactly what we need. That older, the veteran presence, like guys who know what they're doing,
That's what the
just want
'04
to get
team
the
did.
job done.
The '04
Yeah.
team was a bunch of vets.
Mhm.
So I'd be okay with that personally, just
Yeah.
because. I mean, if it means we get to win, the Red Sox have always followed the pattern of suck, suck, championship, suck, 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 championship.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just shortening the gap between. I mean, last year or 2019 was a little different because we were like kind of there, but we just
Mhm.
didn't have the pitching. Like our pitching
Yeah.
was just
We're
horrendous.
yeah. And it was hard to watch after like
I was.
such a crazy run. But yeah. Also on the topic of baseball, so I started rewatching Moneyball last night.
Oh
And
yeah.
holy shit. That is like, in my opinion, top 3 all-time sports movie. You can take a person who doesn't know shit about baseball, put them in front of the TV, turn on that movie, and Brad Pitt and Jonah Hill will have them like being a fan of the Oakland Athletics for the rest of their life.
You
I don't know what it is about that
you're
movie.
gonna
Oh
kill
my
me for saying
gosh,
I've
I
never
love
seen
it.
Moneyball.
Dude, it's on Netflix right now. You got to go watch it. You got to go see this movie.
Maybe I'll be up
It's
late tonight.
so good, dude. It's
Is it?
so interesting. Do you know what it's about?
Oh, something about if you can do something, you can hit a baseball.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, if you can hit a baseball, score runs, win games. Basically, so 2002, the Athletics they're like a super small name franchise. They were super poor. So what they would basically do is they would take the players, develop them, uh, Giambi, Damon, and then they'd lose them to the Red Sox, the Yankees. They'd lose them to the huge
I mean,
teams.
that's what the Indians are in right now.
Yeah, basically.
It
So
sounds like the Cleveland Indians today.
what they did was they brought in this guy. You know what saber? You ever heard the term sabermetrics?
Big
Yes.
sabermetrics
So
guys.
yeah, exactly. Huge sabermetrics guys. So what they did was they like broke it down. They broke players down into like net runs and calculated how many runs they'd need to get wins, how many wins they'd need to like make the playoffs and stuff. And they took a team that was supposed to suck. They like made it into the playoffs and went on a huge. They had like a 20-game winning streak, like one of the longest in baseball. I think it is the longest.
The
It made
Sox have a
history.
19.
Yeah, it was insane, and it's such a good movie. The directed beautifully, shot beautifully. They there's like this montage of when they were going on that run of like all the games, and they take like the real game footage. um I don't know, it's just so good, and the people who play, like Chris Pratt's in it. There's like a lot of actual real baseball players. Just watching the movie, I don't know, man, it just makes me love baseball even more. It's just so good. It's so good.
I'll definitely have
You
to
need
watch it because I know that some of it was filmed up in the press box at Fenway Park.
Yep.
Because
Yeah.
I went on a tour of Fenway Park, and my younger brother was sitting in the seat that Brad Pitt was sitting in
Yeah,
when they
so
filmed
cool.
Moneyball. And so I was like, I've never seen Moneyball, but Brad Pitt's pretty cool.
It's pretty fucking cool. Yeah,
We
because they
you
tried to get him.
you and I
Boston
are
tried
gonna
to
go
hire
on a
him.
tour of Fenway Park.
Hell yeah, that'd be great content.
It's awesome. It's like a 90
Yeah.
minute tour, and it's awesome. We'll
Did
have
they
to
take you
go.
behind the Green Monster?
Sometimes I do.
That's really cool.
Sometimes you'll have to go on the field. It's really cool. I went last February. We're gonna have to go maybe before we go to school.
I'm down. Yeah, if it's open
It's
and we
so
can do
much fun.
that stuff.
It is open, and obviously mask up,
Oh,
but
sweet. Yeah, I don't care. We're masked up
100%.
anyways. Yeah.
All right, but
So
yeah, I mean,
you wanna?
I got nothing for baseball.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot going on.
Let's switch it over to your area of expertise.
I could talk for ages about this. So the Formula One Bahrain Grand Prix was on Sunday. We didn't get to it because we were actually super crunched for time on Tuesday, and we apologize for that. We both had a lot of shit to do, obviously finals and stuff going on. Um,
Over.
we're done.
No longer. I'm just gonna
Nope.
sit back and listen to you talk about this because I want to get into it too. So
All right.
educate me.
So the Bahrain Grand Prix was on Sunday. It started at 9:10 in the morning.
Ooh.
The races usually last about an hour and a half to 2 hours long, but this one was almost 4 hours
Holy shit.
because they had to red. So when a red flag comes out, that means session stopped. Means they have to stop the race. All drivers return back to the pits, and it's because it's the most terrifying crash I've ever seen in motorsport happened. No injuries, or no fatalities, I should say. Um, One of the Haas drivers, Romain Grosjean, took a corner at 134 miles per hour and hit a metal guardrail.
Ooh.
So each Formula One car, it was introduced, I believe, in 2018, is this thing called the Halo. It goes right above your head, in the cockpit. If the Halo didn't exist on the car, he would have been dead. The guardrail would have crushed his head.
Oh my gosh.
I will send you the race replay later,
Yeah.
but the car split in half, which meant the fuel was exposed to the heat, so it blew up. It exploded. And there's F1 cars are hybrids, so it exploded. And Romain Grosjean was. Are you watching it now?
Ooh, I'm pulling up pictures. I didn't see a video, but hold
It's
that
bad,
car
dude.
is there. There's the back of the car. There's like the back quarter of the car, and that's it.
Yeah, the car literally exploded. It all went up in flames. It took Romain Grosjean 25 seconds to get out, and he only had minor burns on his hands.
That's insane.
It was, I mean, so I didn't see it, but when I got up, they were just starting the race. I woke up super late on Sunday because I worked late on Saturday, but they they started the race about 15 minutes before I got up again, and that was on lap one.
Wow.
And so super lucky to be alive. Um, he was actually against the Halo, like when it was released, when the idea was put into place. It's a piece of titanium, so it's very strong metal.
Hmm.
But he's super lucky to be alive.
That's
It's scary
crazy.
shit. It really was. And I listened to an F1 podcast, Shift F1. It was very scary. But he got hit by another driver. He got like nudged by another driver, but because he was taking a corner at 130 miles an hour, it's just the car was done.
What's the
Um,
rule on like bump? Obviously, you don't like try to crash into people, but like if you do, is there like a type of penalty, a type of fine? Because like that's bad. You shouldn't be hitting
yeah.
them.
So basically, how the so F1 is part of the FIA, which is French for International Automobile Federation, and
Very
so
bien.
they what they do is they will give you a time penalty if you're found at fault. So first you'll be put under investigation during the race, and then the stewards will either call it a racing incident, call it a half and half, or give someone a time penalty. And there's a 5 second time penalty, which you usually just get added on to the end of your time at the race. There's a 10-second penalty, which is a stop go penalty, which means you have to go into the pits. And if you're going to pit stop, you have to wait 10 seconds before your crew is allowed to change your tires or your front wing or anything like that. And then they can deal out certain amounts of points against your Formula One super license. And if you get 12 in a 12-month period, you get suspended for a race. That's only happened like once in the last like 12 years, I think.
Oh, wow.
It really doesn't happen often because the points expire after 12 months.
Yeah.
So it and you only get 1 or 2 points if you get a penalty. So
Mhm.
it doesn't happen that often.
Yeah.
But that crash was not. There was just safety concern. It wasn't a time penalty thing.
Yeah.
But the second, the racer that hit him was involved in the exact same thing. When the race restarted, just an hour and a half later. When a front wheel of an F1 car hits a back wheel of another, the car whose front wheel hits generally gets flipped over, and that's exactly what happened. The same
Oh,
exact driver who hit the Haas car hit another car on the racing point, and the car flipped over. So we had a safety car there for a little while, which is like the yellow car in NASCAR.
yeah.
And then that was that for that race. Lewis Hamilton took first. I don't know if you've heard of him. He's a legendary driver, drives for Mercedes,
Yeah.
African American Brit. He's really, really good. Very, very good driver.
That's awesome.
And then the two Red Bulls took second and third. Those are my
Let's
team.
go.
Red Bulls easily my favorite team. But speaking of Lewis Hamilton, he has tested positive for the coronavirus and will miss the race this weekend, which
Ooh.
means, and Mercedes, by the way, far and away the best team in F1.
Yeah, I
Far
remember
and away.
first time we talked about it, you were explaining to me, and they like run away with everything
They
pretty
do.
much.
They run away with everyone. Several
Yeah.
seconds easily. So Lewis Hamilton tested positive. So there's this young guy, George Russell, who Mercedes brought up in their junior programs, like through karting and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He drives for this team Williams, who's been around for a while. They suck. They have the worst cars in the grid. But actually, I wouldn't say the worst cars in the grid. The Haas cars are probably worse. But definitely one of the backfield teams. He's getting this, and he's a blisteringly fast driver. He's got
Ooh.
insane talent. So he is now going to be in the Mercedes seat this weekend.
That's kind of electric. That's
I'm
electric,
like
dude.
super. I mean, George is cracked out. He drove like the worst car on the grid to like the edge of points.
Jeez.
And there are 20 cars in the grid, and you get points from 10th place all the way up to first.
Hmm.
This dude was in like 12th, 11th.
That's crazy.
That car has no business being there ever. And he's insanely good. I'm super excited to see it. They're racing again in Bahrain on a different track configuration. This Sunday, I believe. FP1 and FP2 free practice are tomorrow at like 5 a.m. and 9 a.m. And then they do free practice 3 early morning on Saturday, followed by qualifying on Saturday morning, and you have the race on Sunday morning. So qualifying is really cool. I usually wake up to watch that, just to see like how the cars are. If I cared, I would get up tomorrow to watch the practice runs because I want to see George in the Mercedes. But
Yeah, that's so early.
yeah, so back to the Haas a little bit. They signed two drivers to their F1 roster next year. The guy in the crash, Roman Grosjean, announced his retirement. Or Haas first announced they wouldn't be retaining either of them, but Roman Grosjean said, "You know what? I'm just done with F1 after this because he's been around for a while. He drove for
Yeah.
an old team, Lotus. It was good. He got a lot
The
of
car
podiums.
company? Like,
Yes.
oh, sweet.
I don't think they made engines, but they drove.
Yeah.
It's kind of like how BMW Sauber used to be a thing.
Yeah.
Well, I guess they still are, but it's Alfa Romeo now. So they signed. Do you know who
Right.
Michael Schumacher is?
The name sounds very familiar.
He's the best F1 driver ever to live. He's 7-time world champion with Ferrari. Um, he's absolutely insane. He's cracked out. He obviously no longer drives. His son Mick Schumacher is signed with Haas. He was brought up
Oh,
with the
wow.
Ferrari junior team. He is, I believe, in second place or first place right now in the F2 championship. Which, by the way, F2 cars are stock, so they don't have the technical regulations of F1 that like you can work on them in certain ways. All teams basically have the same car, which makes it
Hmm.
super competitive, and it comes down to
Yeah.
driver skill.
Which that's cool.
It's right now it's probably more exciting than F1 because there's about 5 different racers who can win the championship in the final race. And we knew 3 races ago that Mercedes had the championship locked up.
That's kind of electric.
Yeah, it's a really good time. So Michael Schumacher's son Mick is joining Haas as a rookie, and then Nikita Mazepin, he is Russian,
I've heard
son of a Russian
that name
billionaire.
too. I've heard that name too, I
Um,
think.
Son of a Russian billionaire. He is in third place in the F2 championship right now. Tons of family money. Very fierce driver. He likes to talk a lot of shit. Getting
Respect.
get into other drivers' faces. Even fought someone in the paddock one time.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's quite something. But but yeah, I think Chase Elliott was robbed of a seat. I think he's in second place right now, also in the Ferrari program. But I don't know. We'll have to see. I mean, this guy's a really good racer. He's very fast. He's got good pace. So hopefully,
Yeah.
I mean, the Haas have a stinky car, but we'll see. And the last thing, last but not least, is Red Bull still haven't confirmed a driver for next year yet. So their number one driver, Max Verstappen, one of the best in the world. Um, he's absolutely insane at what he does. The car is built around him and what he
That's
wants.
sick.
So
That's sick.
the team has two cars, but it's really built for what he wants, and the number two driver just goes with it. Right now, it's Alex Albon, a second year in the Red Bull program. He's really good, but Red Bull just don't know if they can stick with him. They want to,
Yeah.
but in terms of skill, there's a couple other drivers that are really, really good. Sergio Perez out of Mexico has a lot of sponsorship money. That would help I mean, Red Bull's not short money right now because they're in second place, but they definitely would like that, especially because Honda, their engine supplier, is backing out of F1 after next year, and they
Ooh.
want to take over the IP of Honda's engine and develop their own proprietary engine.
Whoa.
And so that
That would be sick.
the Red Bull engine, dude, imagine
That would be so badass.
the
Bro, like,
wings.
I don't even know anything about this shit, and you got me like hyped up for this race
It's
that I like
it's
know
really
nothing
cool.
about.
It's awesome.
That's badass. I
Um,
mean, Cars is one of my favorite movies of all time.
watch
So
Formula One Drive to Survive on Netflix. That's your
that
homework. I'll watch Moneyball. You watch that.
sounds like a plan.
I mean, there's like 20 episodes, so.
All right, I'll watch like one or two.
And then, so Sergio Perez in Mexico has a lot of sponsorship money. Would be really good for that IP. If you're gonna develop your own engine. And then Nico Hulkenberg, who used to drive for Renault, the French car manufacturer.
Oui.
He's also really good. He currently owns the record for most races without a podium.
Oh, that sucks.
So,
That's a terrible record.
so it's a struggle because when he was in the US, I think he like did a Microsoft store appearance because Renault, like one of their sponsored Microsoft, and someone asked how many races have you won, like a little kid,
Oh,
and they
that
caught it on Netflix. It was so funny.
that's tough, dude. That is tough.
It's so
Poor
bad.
guy.
I was like, oof. But
God damn.
but I would love Nico Hulkenberg because he's never really been given the chance in like a sick car, like a podium
Yeah.
level car, and the Red Bull is a sick car. And also Pierre Gasly, he was just confirmed for Red Bull's sister team, AlphaTauri. Red Bull has two F1 teams. They have
Cool.
Aston Martin Red Bull Racing, and they have AlphaTauri, which is like their driver academy team, but it's still F1. Pierre Gasly started, I believe, 9 races for Red Bull last year, and then was sent down to their sister team, and Alex Albon was promoted, which kind of fucking sucks.
Yeah.
That's like kind of a kick in the pants. And then Pierre Gasly went and got second place on one of the races.
Ooh.
He outfought Lewis Hamilton in a Mercedes car.
That's crazy.
Like he like dueled him and like won. And I was like, and then
How much
Albon
money do these guys make? Like, obviously ridiculous amounts.
bags.
But
I think Lewis
wow.
Hamilton is like the 13th highest paid athlete in the world.
Holy fuck.
He has like a over $10 million a year salary, makes 30 million plus a year in endorsements.
Whoa. That's the kicker. Endorsements are always the kicker. Like salaries.
Jordan
just the tip
never
of the
made his
iceberg.
money off of basketball.
No.
Jordan made his money off of the shoe. The
And
Jordan 1.
gambling.
True.
Just kidding.
Yeah, I got a story
That's
about
how you
that.
lose money.
In The Last Dance, like a lot of the bench players would play. Have you seen The Last Dance?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know what I'm talking about here.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
they would sit in the back of the plane and play for like $1 a hand, and MJ
And then
Pippen
Michael
and
would come
stuff.
over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, "Why do you want to play with us?" And he's like, "Cause I want to beat you."
Exactly. He didn't care because then him and Pippen would be at the front playing like $100,000 hands,
Right,
or
right,
not
right.
100,000, hundreds or thousands of dollars a hand, and then he just loved the competition. Like he said,
Right.
he didn't have a gambling problem. He had a competition problem,
I mean,
which
I
in
kind
most
of agree.
cases, yeah, in most cases, I would say that's bullshit. You're addicted to gambling. Both Michael Jordan, I don't think that's the case.
No, Michael Jordan, I think that's legit. I think he just wanted to beat you at everything he did.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Speaking of Michael Jordan, the third greatest NBA player of all time, LeBron James, recently signed a 2-year, $85 million supermax with Los Angeles.
And Anthony Davis signed a 5-year, 190 mil supermax as well.
So Los Angeles is handing out checks. They're reloaded. They think they're gonna repeat. They have the bones to do it. We'll see what the coaching's like, but more importantly, someone's got to challenge them. And I think I know who that somebody is gonna be.
Don't even call it the Celtics. Don't even say the Celtics are going to be the greatest challengers.
I, dude,
Bro.
Celtics are sick.
Oh, I don't know, man. I hope so. The Celtics are sick. We are
Yeah.
completely reloaded.
I mean, I feel like they definitely would have given him more of a hassle than the Heat,
If the
which,
Celtics didn't give negative effort in the Eastern Conference Finals, we win.
yeah, yeah,
And we take the Lakers to at least 7. If not, we win.
exactly. Yeah, I mean, um, another competitor there's the Clippers recently came out saying there was a whole load of locker room issues and gave a bunch of bullshit for why they kind of fell apart,
I kind of believe that
which,
though. Doc Rivers is not a very good coach in that aspect.
yeah, I mean, it, he was going to Celtics in like '08, but it was just like I wonder what they're gonna do because they lost some of their really key players too, and I mean they still have Kawhi and Paul George, but Paul George cannot play in the playoffs,
It's like
and
James Harden.
Kawhi can't do that. Like
Right.
He can't carry that team alone,
Right. The
and
Raptors were a well-rounded team. Like obviously he was a standout, but
yeah, they're still a good
Raptors,
team.
they are still a good team. They gave us a
Yeah,
fight
exactly.
because we were starting to give no effort.
Yeah, and then that carried over. But
Yeah.
I think a huge thing that happened recently was the John Wall Russell Westbrook trade. That is actually going to
It's a
shake things up
blockbuster.
so much. Um, I think John Wall is going to be much better for the Rockets, and I think that puts Russell Westbrook back into a position where he's going to put the team on his back and he's going to be able to win games because it's him. And I'm actually super excited for that. The more I think about it, the more excited I get. Because John Wall has kind of that Russell Westbrook mentality. Like he attacks the rim. He's a good physical point guard, but he also can. He's a better shooter, and I think he's a better facilitator. Like more of a
I think you're
true
right.
point guard.
Yeah,
And so he'll fit much better with the Rockets. And Russell Westbrook now has this huge chip on his shoulder, this massive load that he has to carry, and that's gonna be cool to watch too.
for sure.
So
For sure.
that's awesome.
So a little bit of Celtic stuff. I saw a thing that was Isaiah Thomas was talking about playing I think with some of the USA basketball guys a little bit ago. And
Yeah.
he was saying, I've never been able to like be at that level since my knee injury with the Celtics.
Mhm.
And now I feel like I'm back at that level where I can blow by all stars and start to really play at that high level again. And all I need is a chance. I hate to be that guy, but Celtics.
Dude, no, you don't hate to be that guy. Like, please be that guy. Everyone needs to fucking tweet at Brad Stevens and Danny Ainge. I don't know if Danny Ainge even has Twitter.
No chance. Danny Ainge has a burner.
He doesn't even have a phone. Um,
Danny Ainge
Isaiah
still on
Thomas
that
to the
razor.
Celtics right now. Oh my gosh, bro. Like I've wanted to bring him back for years now because
Me too.
he's gotten such shit luck. I mean, we were kind of terrible. We got a great trade. We had a great trade, so we kind of had to take it. But he had poured his heart and his soul into Boston, and he did so much for that team. And we dealt him, which like it's a business. That's what you do. But I don't know. I still think he has a whole lot to offer. and I think he actually really he's said multiple times that he'd be more than happy to come back to Boston and play.
The
He still loves the
mentality,
team.
the
Yeah, and
mental he would
he
offer to our locker room would be him and Marcus Smart working together to fire the fuck up the Boston Celtics.
yeah,
Whew, chills.
yeah. And I mean, Kemba's been struggling with injuries, and
He's not going to be
like
ready for the start, so
yeah, and Jeff Teague's gonna be great, veteran bench presence as well. But Isaiah Thomas was a better scorer than Kemba Walker when he was on, and I mean it was just the defense was a liability, but the defense is a liability with Kemba as well. And I don't think he's gonna come back and drop like 30 a game, but I think that
he'd be
he'll
sick off the bench.
be sick off the bench and more productive than Wanamaker was, and probably more productive in most situations than Jeff Teague. But I still don't get me wrong. I'm actually very excited about the Jeff Teague signing, and I think that actually can be huge for us.
I think you're right. What do we have? We
I kind of
have
wanted to talk about the Ball family.
Jesus Christ. All right, what do you got?
I think LeVar Ball is like so smart. He talks out of his ass, but that gets people to pay attention to him. You know the amount of money he's made and the amount of publicity he's made because of the ridiculous, outlandish things he says. There's no way he believes half the things that come out of his mouth,
Okay,
and nobody does.
I I'm not gonna disagree. I love Harbaugh's genius because he's talking
Yeah.
out of his ass and he's
Mhm.
making tens of millions of dollars off of it. But I'm not gonna go so far as to say he's genuinely smart. He's a good marketer, but I don't think he is smart.
I mean, I think he's smart at what he tries to do and who he
Okay.
tries to be. He's excellent at that. I'm
Okay.
not saying that he could go like teach my calculus class, but dude, he got all three of his sons are in the fucking NBA right now, and I
Two
mean,
of them were top
two
five
of them,
picks.
yeah, and LiAngelo Ball should not be in the NBA,
That's the glory of it,
and
man.
LeVar Ball fucking made it happen, and
I
now
don't know
he's
how.
gonna be in Charlotte with uh Michael Jordan, who said that he could beat one on one. It's comedy gold. Have you ever watched their like Facebook or YouTube like Ball in the Family? You ever seen that shit?
Yeah, dude.
It is pure entertainment. That family, whatever they touch, is like turns to gold for some reason. I don't know.
Is gold
I
the
just
word?
want like not entertainment gold,
Okay, okay.
and
I was
that's what I
about to
meant.
say. Holy
As
shit.
as an avid consumer of media, gold. But yeah, I just want to take a respect, LeVar. Respect.
Shout out
Like,
Laval Bar for being the most retarded genius we know.
yeah, I genuinely think like he's very savvy at what he tries to do. And I think a lot of people it goes over their head. Because he does take it to the next level, his like ridiculous claims and the stuff he says. But like deep down, he's like getting what he wants. So like hats off. Like good shit, dude.
Yeah, man, he's
I respect
fucking
it.
rich.
Yeah.
Making
Yeah,
more
you
than we
couldn't beat
are.
MJ though.
Oh,
Oh, well,
could
yeah.
not be MJ
We're
would
we're
dunk on you
negative
and then
making money
start
right
playing.
now. College, buddy.
We
Yikes.
are losing $20,000 every 3 months.
Yeah. As we speak, like money is just being burned behind us. But that's okay.
So a little NFL stuff, getting off of this stupid ass basketball. LeVar Ball, get the fuck out. Goodell says there's no NFL playoff bubble so far. What the fuck? What,
I mean, there's a lot of that would be a lot of people and very hard to do. But that's what you got to do at this
you
point,
have to.
especially for football. If you like we almost missed a game this week because of it. We're gonna the schedule next week screwed up. If you want to do it right, then you got to take a page out of Adam Silver's book and you got to do a bubble. And it's gonna be a lot of money, but it's gonna save you a lot of trouble, and it's gonna save you money
Do
eventually
it do it
because
like
it's
the
not gonna
MLB
work.
did it though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you can have two 3, like,
You can
you
have
know,
you can
yeah,
have 4 stadiums you play at, or you could have 8 stadiums you play at,
yeah.
and then just I don't know, man.
Slowly whittle it down. It just I don't know. There can't be the amount of contact that those people have. Like even me, right? Say I go to like the grocery store to pick up food, like normally wearing my mask safe, like sanitizing. I'm still in like there's still a ton of people that go in and out of there every day. And then take that, multiply it by like the hundreds of people involved in an NFL team, and you've seen like half the people in the fucking city. So it's I
Is not a
have
good idea.
trouble I have trouble seeing it happen, seeing the NFL playoffs happening like as we know them, which is
Yeah,
scary because like I want to watch that.
right. I think I agree. But hey, looking up, our boy Dr. Fauci, we could be back 2021.
Just as long as they don't let him throw out the opening pitch ever again,
Hey,
let's do it.
I respect the effort of it, but
Yeah.
my man's got to hit arm day a few times before he can try to
It
throw it
was
60 feet
funny to
6 inches
watch.
again. Yeah, it was good to watch. So, and the last thing I think we got on like traditional sports here is I saw today that the Bruins are trying to play at Fenway, so there can be fans, like so that they can be outside and not in an arena. Fuck college. I'm buying
Yeah.
season tickets to this.
Yeah, we're actually that's why we decided to make this episode. We're dropping out and we're gonna be Bruins roadies. We're basically just gonna pitch a tent in outside of Fenway and we're just gonna go. Dude, actually, if they do that, like we have to splurge and go to one game because
Oh,
that is content
100%.
gold.
A
Also,
thousand
just
percent.
just like the experience of that would be awesome.
I've
It's like a
been
mix. It's a mix of two of the best things: Fenway Park and Bruins hockey, home Bruins hockey. Sign me up.
I've been to Fenway Park for football games, and I was gonna go to the Fenway Bowl this year if it didn't get canceled. Oh yeah, dude, it's a fucking experience.
Yeah,
It's legit. But I mean, there's nothing I like more than going to a stadium for one thing when it's meant for another.
yeah. It's so electric, dude.
It
That's
is.
why the
It is
Winter Classics
electric.
are always so cool.
Because there was at
It's
football
something
arenas,
different. Yeah, shake it up, dude. Shake it up.
right? I mean, my mom was telling me today also like Bob Kraft probably gonna get in on this too. Like, hey, you can play Gillette.
So
He's so
cool.
fire. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
But hopefully, I
Maybe I
mean,
could lose
hopefully,
my Gillette virginity if that happens.
same. But man, double cherry pop. Damn.
Woo! Make a nice video out of that. Of going to Gillette Stadium, you fucking dirty minded
Yeah, come on,
scumbags. Jeez,
boys.
come on, boys.
Jeez, we're better than that. Well,
No, we're not.
oh well.
We
So
pretend to be.
we're gonna kick it to our sleeper games of the week. So
Boom.
just for those who want to take a rewind on the memory train, it is games that have come out anywhere from the first fucking video game all the way to last month that just kind of go under the radar that people never gave a lot of love or died off too quick or anything like that. So I'll start off with mine. I got Tom Clancy's The Division, third-person looter shooter, based I believe Washington D.C.
Post-apocalyptic.
Yeah, I mean, the game itself, I haven't gotten to play through it a lot, but I'm going to tomorrow. Like that's like my main plan tomorrow, play The Division and record it. Um, it just looks like a fun game.
Yeah.
It it
No.
it never got the love it deserved, and I don't know whether that's because the game is clunky or loot was bad or whatever, but it looked like a solid game, and they made expansions on it, so
Yeah, I mean they definitely put work into the game, and like we love looter shooters. That's like probably one of
that's
my
if
favorite
I want
variety
every
of
game I
games.
ever play to be a looter shooter.
Yeah, and I mean it was a cool idea. I don't really know why it didn't pan out. I mean it was like blowing up for a while and then just kind of died. I'm not really sure for what reason, but I did watch people play it. I've watched a couple hours of
Yeah, me
gameplay,
too.
and it seems pretty awesome.
The second one also looks good. I heard it was
Yeah.
too easy. Like I heard it was a Destiny thing. Where the
Okay.
second one was a lot easier than the first one, and that's why it didn't really pan
Yeah.
out that well. But I mean, I've got the deluxe edition of both games. I just never played them, so
Dive into 'em, baby.
definitely gonna run through that.
Hell yeah. I mean, it still definitely has an avid viewer and fan base, but
For sure. I'm definitely
it's not as
excited
big
to,
as it probably should be.
yeah. So definitely a sleeper. Slept
Yes.
on.
For me, my sleeper game is gonna be the Just Cause franchise, namely 3 and 4. Just Cause 4 actually right now, if you have a PlayStation Plus membership, is the one of the free games of the month, which is pretty cool. Um, But these games are, like, super fun. It's just mindless destruction. You basically just go into towns that are controlled by, like, dictators in South America, and you have to, like, destroy certain parts of it to, take it over and, like, or not take it over, to free it from being taken over, and it's a little repetitive, which is why I think it wasn't as big of a success as it could have been. But and then you, like, keep doing that, and slowly you free more and more people, more and more towns, you unlock more things. But it's just one of those, like, crazy, like, GTA style, open world, good graphics, you can kinda do whatever you want. Pretty good campaign too, which is just a fun game.
It looks pretty
Third
legit.
person.
I think
Yeah.
I think for me, a lot more games need to do first person. And
Mhm.
the biggest issue that I'm seeing is that if your first person game isn't developed by Blizzard or EA or someone like that, it's not going to take off. You're just not going to get traction. People are going to
Yeah.
think, oh, it's not made an engine good enough for first person, like stuff like that. So, I mean, I
Like,
wouldn't
even a
hate it.
game is yeah. I mean, even a game as good as GTA, like, nobody plays that in first person.
Right,
It's, like, so hard, and it just doesn't look good. But, like, third person, one of the most fun games ever. I still play that
for
game.
sure. And I think the mechanics are engineered differently for each game. Like I
Yeah.
remember for a little bit back in like the first seasons of Apex, they released a third person mode to mess with the Fortnite a little bit, and that just doesn't work because there's weapon recoil, there's like recoil patterns and stuff like that in Apex, so it wouldn't work. And the same thing with Fortnite. I mean, or I think Fortnite works well in third person so much because it's Bloom. It's not
Yeah.
there's no recoil. It's just Bloom. So I mean, that's what you got to do with third person games. And that's what limits you. Like, you're able to have, like, oh, recoil and stuff like that in first person, but it takes a lot more resources to get, like, those patterns and stuff like that. It takes proprietary engines.
Yeah,
So
no, that's well said.
if you're working off of Unreal Engine, you might not be able to get all that. But
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
exactly.
It definitely two games I feel slept on. I want to see
Yeah.
more smaller party first person shooters.
Yeah,
That's my shit.
it's pretty
Get
fun.
me addicted to your game.
Sell us.
That's the goal.
Yeah,
If
exactly.
your game is fun, I promise you I'm gonna play it until I can't. That there was a BR that came out, Radical Heights. This was a couple years ago.
The name sounds super
It was
familiar.
it was made by the people who made that shitty first person shooter Lawbreakers,
Oh, yeah, that game was, like, so hyped up, and then it
and then it
flopped.
bombed. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I was actually kinda excited for that.
I wasn't gonna pay $60 for it, but I was
No, no,
kind of
no.
excited for it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Yeah, it's made by those developers, and it was a BR. It was so much fun. The mechanics of it were sick. Like there was a bank system, so you like take money out of your bank, from
Ooh.
money that you collected in previous games, and like buy items and perks and stuff.
Oh, so it's like, Tarkov mixed with everything.
A little bit. You don't take your loot out of the game,
Okay.
and you have to put the money in the bank before you die. But it's sick. It's awesome. And
That's dope.
they all of a sudden were just like, we have to kill development for this game. It's just not taking off. I mean, the graphics sucked, and it
Yeah.
like was not like that good of a game, but I liked it a lot.
I mean, it's the fun aspect. Like Among Us
It was a
was developed
fun
by like
ass game.
3 guys. It's like a you play it with your friends. It has good replayability. They're like adding things. People are modding it. There's like the new craze is proximity chat.
Oh my
So
god,
like yeah, it's pretty funny. I've seen some streamers and people
bro!
doing that
When
in
I use
videos, but
proximity chat is the best thing to ever happen to games.
yeah. And
Kill
after
someone in Call of
kill,
Duty. Fuck!
post kill shit, yeah, I live for those clips. Those are so
Oh my god.
so
All the
funny.
friendly stream snipers, Tim the Tatman faces. Tim, you're fat. Tim, you're fat. Tim, you're fat.
Yeah, and they like they'll come with like the best loot. I remember that
Love
shit.
that. Love that.
Yeah.
All right, so just a quick little thing to wrap it up. We're gonna talk about our lives a little bit, in case y'all cared. If not, oh well.
We're super interesting. Of course they care.
Yeah. So hey, today semester 1 was complete.
Let's fucking go.
We are officially on winter break. We finished our last finals today. Um, I don't know what your winter break plans are. I'm just going to be working. I told Target, give me 15, 20 hours a week, and then the rest I'm going to be probably creating content, to be honest.
Hell yeah. I'm probably gonna be doing the same. Got some maybe some acting, some shit going there. Definitely some social media stuff, some content influencing. Do Instagram polls for Pixar movies. Pretty big into that. I don't know if it's too late to shoot one off tonight. I might have to take a day off.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that started with me and my friends playing Madden together and arguing about a movie, which was actually pretty hilarious.
But that's like
We're
where
like,
the purest content comes from.
yeah,
That's literally where this podcast came from. We shot the
yeah,
shit for like 3 hours at a time. And we were like, wait, we need to record this.
exactly.
So, but I mean, I don't have a whole lot going on.
Sure.
I really
Neither do
don't.
I.
I wish I did. But a couple things I got on the horizon. I'm thinking of a whole bunch of stuff. Probably I got a whole bunch of packages coming in. Maybe an unboxing. Well,
Oh
IRL.
yeah.
Um, gonna make my return to Overwatch sooner or later. Get that into a
Ooh.
video. Talk about what I think about the game right now as a veteran. Maybe a couple taste tests in a couple of weeks. I know a couple places opened up near me, so get that going.
Ooh, I might have
And
to that sandwich contest I was talking about. Might have to record that, do like some foodie shit. That would be
that's what
cool.
I'm saying, dude. When we get to school, we're gonna have to run the UMass dining reviews.
I'm totally fine with that because everything's supposed to be so
It
good.
is. I will tell you some of the best food I've ever had is the spring rolls there.
I love
They're
me a
so
good
gas.
spring roll.
They're so
There's
gas, dude.
such a big drop off between like there's like spring rolls, right? And then like good spring rolls are
Bro,
so good, but
I'm
bad
t-
spring rolls are
bro, I'm
gross.
telling you right now, they're the best spring rolls you've ever had.
Damn.
They're crispy on the outside, soft on the inside, and they're like
Mhm.
kind of sweet on the inside too.
That's such an underrated part of college. Well, not even really, because dude,
No, because
like
so many schools' food just sucks.
yeah, and you have to eat it every day, or you have to spend like trillions of dollars to eat out every day, and like that's
Fuck that.
not. I'm already spending like thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to be there, so might as well have some good food while I am at it.
Yeah,
But yeah,
there.
I
But
don't
yeah, I
know, man.
mean,
I'm
once we
just
get
gotta
to
get
school and stuff
motivated.
too, we can run the UMass athletics reports and on campus stuff going on. So it'll be a good time. I think all
Yeah,
we need is a fucking camera.
seriously. Oh, college basketball. That's going on now. I mean, not a whole lot happened yet. Hopefully the tournament happens.
I saw San
Some
Francisco upset.
upsets.
Who was it?
UVA.
Yeah, that was a big
Yeah,
upset.
they start off 0-2, and they're like favorites, which is funny. My friend goes there, and he texted us in like a fantasy football group chat. He was like, "Yo, like if anyone wants to hop," no, he tweeted it. He tweeted like, "Yo, if anyone wants to hop on the UVA bandwagon before school starts or before basketball starts, like it's not too late. Like we'd love to have you." And then they like lose a heartbreaker, and then they lose again. Oh, so funny, poetic
Love it.
justice. Love to see it.
And we also love to see the UMass hockey team steamrolling everyone in their path. That
Oh,
is
dude, it's so electric.
that's the only sport UMass is even good at.
Yeah, but dude, hockey's such a lit sport to be good at. Like going to the
Yes.
hopefully we can go to some games and
UMass hockey
that's
games are
awesome.
electric because they score
Yeah,
5 like every game. So you're just like, let's fucking go.
I love hockey.
So
Live
sick.
hockey, so much fun.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I think that should about do it.
That does about do it for the
Um,
episode.
yeah, this is great, dude, because now I can like I'm just gonna get off, like brush my teeth, and then like go do research, consume content, and come up with ideas, aka watch TV, YouTube, TikTok for half an hour, hour, go to
Watch
bed.
Formula 1.
Yeah.
Watch the show.
and then I have to wake up and probably go play some more golf tomorrow. Don't got to think about
Oh, let me
school.
go golfing with you tomorrow.
You free? You around?
I mean, not really. I have to do some errands, but if we play in the afternoon,
I'll we'll talk. Text me.
I'm like mostly kidding. There's no way
We're
I'd be
making
able to fit it
plans.
in.
All right. We'll go golfing soon though.
Yeah, for sure. Next week or something. I'm available like
Yeah.
4 days next week.
All right, sounds good.
All right, we're gonna wrap it up. Make sure you guys follow the Twitter at Cage Lions Pod. We've said it 15 times, but the Twitter is still under the Discord is still under maintenance. We are
Basically,
working
we're
on
just
it.
waiting on graphics. That's the
We
only
are.
thing. Once we have graphics, everything's gonna be better.
Yes.
But I am logged into the Twitter, and I love to tweet. So
Yeah. If you don't follow Ben, on Twitter at Benjamin Maury, and me on Twitter at Senior Brand or Ultraviolet Game, that's like my Twitch one that
did
I
you have to do
use.
that for like Spanish in high school? Is that why you're
No,
Senior Brand?
no, all my
No.
friends would just call me Senior Brand in high school.
That's funny. I like it. Do I have permission to like tweet random shit about like Boston sports from the Twitter?
Sure, I don't care.
It won't be that. It won't be bad. It'll be funny. I love
Sure.
tweeting.
Give it a shot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that'll do it for this episode. Any last words?
Any last words? Gosh, you about to murder me? Yeah, thanks guys. On any updates or fucking any suggestions, advice, if you want to talk. I mean, like hit me up on Instagram, Ben.Mulry. Like I like to talk to people, man. Go vote on my polls on my
We're social
story.
people.
We talk about Pixar movies and shit. It's great. Yeah, much love, guys.
All right, we will catch you guys on Tuesday, and we will see you then. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Stay safe.